Welcome back to another Ember micro update video. This time we're talking about terrain. One of the things we are working on is a terrain demo for our Ember backers. We've already been creating and testing different pieces of it, but I thought you'd like to see the entire process start to finish. One of the things we do is to collect reference images. This is the first thing we do. It always helps to have a lot of reference images to guide and inspire you in creating your terrain. Ember takes place on a planet designated Em-8ER, which is supposed to be a contrast of a frozen planet with live volcanic activity. I know this seems like a contradiction, but there are actually places on Earth where you can see snow and lava at the same time, and it's pretty spectacular. So we thought this would make an interesting backdrop for the game. So it's off to the internet to start searching for these images and putting together a reference collage. The software we use here is called PureRef, and it allows us to quickly create a pasteboard of multiple reference images that we can refer to when we are creating our terrain. We try to assemble a good collection and variety of images, from close crop details to wider panoramic shots. We're starting with snow and lava images to help us imagine what such a landscape might look like. I can start to see that the contrast between the lava and the dark rock and the white snow is really interesting and dynamic. That's the kind of environment we'd like to have. There's also a lot of smoke and steam from when the lava meets together, and this should provide for some nice opportunities to have some dynamic plume effects on the terrain and other areas that will give us a little verticality in the silhouette of our landscape. And we're also paying attention to that overall silhouette that I just mentioned. We want to make sure that there's some nice large distant volcanoes that really break up the horizon and make it more interesting. We also look at some fantasy images with strange formations to serve as a dramatic inspiration for getting more depth and punch and epicness to our landscape. Finally, I accidentally discovered images of active volcanoes struck by lightning. The image is so dynamic that I'm very interested in incorporating this into Ember. This will be a big challenge, so I'll save this one for a stretch goal. It would be nice to be able to do this, but it seems ambitious, so we'll make sure we do it last so that if we run out of time, we can just add that later instead of putting it into the initial terrain demo. Once we have all of our reference images, it's time to start writing down the assets that we'll need to create the environment. We want to identify the key elements, keeping them to as few as possible for production reasons while making sure we have enough to create the scene. We can see that we're going to need some frozen ice, snow, lava, and rocky textures. We already have the snow and ice and some rocks from our previous demo, so we can concentrate more on lava textures and maybe some variants. For skies, we'll need to play with our licensed True Sky software to see if it can create the brooding skies we want to see in Ember. True Sky also provides lightning, so we're going to have to research that and see what's involved with setting it up. For meshes, we're going to need a few. There are large, medium, and small features that we will create in 3D and plop down onto our terrain. These include small ice boulders and lava rocks, larger translucent rock shapes with snow toppings, and perhaps some really big meshes for things like lava flow cliffs. We'll use this list to task out to the team and get together working on multiple avenues at once. But first we'll need to do some prototyping and scale tests, which will be the subject of a future video update. What do you think about our ideas for Ember terrain? Leave a comment below and be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.